When I was in school, I did everything I could to get an A, especially for French class. I studied every night. I looked at flashcards. I even, when I got the prompt for the next day's test, wrote out the essay and memorized every single word so that I could regurgitate it onto paper. I got my A. Fast forward, a few years later, I went to France. I took my partner to Paris. I wanted to show off my 3 years of French. So we went to a farmer's market, and we saw a lady selling delicious cheese. I walked up to her. Bonjour. Je voudrais le fromage. And she looked at me. And she kept looking at me. And then she helped the next customer. She had no idea what I said. How is it that after 3 years of learning French, I couldn't even ask for food? I had a great teacher. She was kind. She scaffolded content. She gave me formative assessments. What did I do wrong? I did everything by the book. And that was the problem. By the book. I've been an educator for about 10 years. I've been traveling around. I've lived in Vietnam, China, Korea, India, here in Thailand. And whenever I meet a fluent English speaker, I ask them, what is your secret? How did you do it? Please tell me. And they always give me the exact same answer. I learned by going to the movies, by listening to English music, by watching TV, all 10 seasons of Friends. Wait a minute. You're telling me that the kid who locks himself in his room and studies for the IELTS for 10 years speaks worse than the kid in the back of the classroom rapping to Eminem, dropping F-bombs? Probably. So why is that? Should we all be dropping F-bombs in class? No. I believe it's something that a lot of classrooms today are missing. And that's a concept I like to call soul. Soul. What's the soul of a language? It's the context. It's the situations, the serendipitousness, the motivation, the love. It's the music, it's the rhythm of learning a language. And we've lost a lot of that. So what do we do? In 2020, a Lebanese public school did something very interesting. They decided to experiment with soul. They had grade 3 students learning English language listening comprehension, about 80 kids, and they divided them into 2 different groups. One group, they learned the old-fashioned way. Play the CD, pff, Bob goes to the zoo, Bob feeds the giraffes, Bob plays with the elephant, Bob gets, all right, happy Bob, ha ha ha, fill in the blank. The other group, they learned with music. Wheels on the Bus, Baby Shark, all the songs that make us want to drive our car into a ditch. But it's interesting, it's sticky, it's music. After 3 months, 1 50-minute class a week. The group that experimented with music had nearly double the learning gains. Nearly double. Okay, so as teachers, include more music. What else can we do? Dr. Nicole Mills, Joint Director of Language Programs at Harvard University, does something very interesting with their French 2 class. What she does is she's invented a breakthrough technology, a program called La République. Students put on a VR headset and they get transported to different places around Paris. And using 360 videos, Students act as a fly on the wall, observing. They're at a party. People are dancing. Some people are flirting in the back. People are playing games. They're talking. They're transported to a cafe. Two friends are gossiping. Did you hear about Sally? Yeah, she listened to Baby Shark too many times and right into the ditch. Transported to a museum. Two people discussing, wow, look at this art. Look at the way that they blah, 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 blah. And at the end, students take off these masks and they discuss as a classroom. Why did they say it like that? What is this idiom? Why did they use this word instead of the other word that I saw in the textbook? Not only this, but Dr. Mills also uses role plays, murder mysteries, games, gamification, something that's fun, instant feedback. And also, she uses a little AI chatbot named Lee, supposed to be a 12-year-old French boy who speaks roughly at the French 2 level. But wait, we don't have the money for VR headsets and all this fancy. We don't. But we do have access to YouTube. We have movies. We have things that we can play in class or assign for homework that kids can absorb and see the language being used in the real world. Chatbots? We all know kids have chatbots. Essays have gotten weirdly good lately. Okay, music. Some TV, YouTube, maybe a chatbot. What else can we do? Rather, what should we stop doing? And this one. Enough of the high-stakes examinations. They killed my motivation to learn French. They killed it. Yeah, I studied every night, but did I love the language? Did I have intrinsic motivation to watch French movies and experiment and really fall in love with the language? No. High-stakes tests, a single data point where a student has one opportunity to answer all the questions on the test out of context and then 2 months later get the results. One chance to speak the language and perform the language, is that how it actually works? Do you go to a foreign country and say, goodbye, I meant hello? Wrong answer, I will not be your friend, goodbye. No, that's not what happens. We get instant feedback, not feedback months later. These tests are not only worrying for motivation, but they're worrying especially amongst East Asian communities, particularly the Chinese community. There's a phenomenon called self-segregation. A lot of Chinese international students go abroad, they go to America, they go to the UK, they go to Australia, and many often fail to integrate. Why? Many come from cultures where it is not okay to be wrong. And that fear leads to self-segregation, not making international friends, not trying out and speaking to people because people are afraid to look wrong, not asking questions to the professors when they need help. And then we don't get the joys and the beauty of that community's voice. So, music, videos, tests. We can't get rid of tests, but we can request teachers, administrators to give more realistic tests, performance-based, effort-based, growth-based tests, more formative, so they're not, oh my goodness, 1 month from now, my entire grade rests on this. And what else can we do as parents? Well, there's a couple of easy solutions that can really make English full of soul, full of it. Simple. Once a week, have a movie night. Watch that movie that you've been wanting to see. And if you don't speak English, turn on the captions. Discuss it when you're done. When you're in the car, play that music. Encourage your child to sing along. Sing with them. Just don't drive in the ditch. But there are easy things that you can do to bring soul into that language. And if not for your kids, at least do it for the cheese ladies out there. Because if they don't speak her language, she may never get to sell her delicious cheese. Thank you.